right, we're up and running.
Yeah.
Hi, Kyle.
Hello, sir.
Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you too, man. That was a great set last night.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Isn't that place crazy?
That place is crazy. Yeah.
Used to be an EDM club. We turned it into a comedy club.
That's hilarious. How
Just
long
by
ago?
coming here.
How
2
long-
years ago.
2 years ago was an EDM club?
2 years ago, it was like a bunch of dirty people that were doing MDMA and dancing around.
Well, I feel like last year it wasn't like I don't think they had that cool projection of the alien on the
Oh yeah,
back.
no.
Yeah, it's like they've upgraded it in just a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's become a thing. It's we're there every week, and then the club opens up within a couple of weeks. And I'll show you that tomorrow.
Yeah, and you got a lot of comedians who have joined you here, right? People who
like
sort of
12
moving here.
world-class comedians moved here.
And they all just followed you, right? They saw what you did and they were like, all right, let's go there.
Well, I kind of let them know, like, you don't have to be there. You don't have to be in Hollywood.
Yeah, but he was in
stuck
LA.
traffic, and you don't have to deal with it was always in California. There was always the allure of Hollywood because they were going to give you work, right? You'd get on a sitcom and you would do talk shows. You do all these different things, but those aren't really a thing anymore.
Yeah.
And so, what else are you going to be there for? Movies? How many movies are there? You can go in for movies. And what do you want to do? Like, everybody wants to do stand-up. Like, Stanhope said it once, and I thought about it. I was like, Dad, that's right. He's like, really what you're doing when you're doing a television show is it's an ad to get people to go see you do stand-up. Like, yeah, that's what it is.
How many of your comedian friends still do TV, movies, stuff like that?
A few of them, like
few of them do?
Yeah, they're trying to do more movies now. Like Bert just did a big movie, The Machine, and it was a real problem because it got delayed because it's all about Russia. It's about him going to Russia. It's a true story.
Yeah,
about
I remember
him.
his famous. Yeah.
The fucking trailer is hilarious. It looks great, but they held it for a long time, and then we released the trailer on the podcast we did recently, and so now they're going to release the movie because the trailer got received so well because they were worried, like people were going to say, it's about Russia. You can have a funny movie about Russia, but nobody really cares.
So who was like pressuring them over it?
It's not a pressure thing; it's a fear thing. They're
Okay.
like, oh, it's not. Let's not release this. Let's hang on to this.
They did that with North Korea. You remember when?
Yes,
what
the
was
interview.
that? Who's the dude's name? I'm blanking on his name right
Franco?
now. Yeah, James
And
Franco.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
were like, "Hey, we don't want to cause any problems or whatever."
Yeah.
which is like, it's hilarious to think that Kim Jong Un is somewhere. Like, what did
Right.
James Franco say about me? How is he joking?
Well, I'm sure they're pissed, but whatever. These guys pissed about everything, isn't
I
he?
know. Yeah, well, some of the propaganda that comes out of there is like world class silly.
Yeah.
It's like they have effectively a state religion where they said. Famously, Kim Jong-il in his first round of golf,
Yes!
he shot like, I don't know, it was like,
Like 9
18 under
holes in
par or
one.
something. Yeah, something ridiculous. Yeah, so they go top notch with their propaganda.
His
they don't mess
first
around,
round of golf.
which is
Imagine.
beyond impossible. I don't even think it might be impossible to shoot even par your first round of golf.
Yeah, how would it be possible? I couldn't even hit the ball the other day. These guys were driving, him and who was with us? Cheeto. Andrew Santino was here, and they were whacking the golf ball. I missed it like 3 times in a row just trying to hit it.
It's one of those things where, in theory, you feel like, I could do this. I
Yeah,
hit that
how
little
hard is
thing
it to
over
do
there.
that thing?
Yeah, it's a big green. It's 120 yards away. I got this. And then
Yeah.
you get up and you realize, like, oh, this is... A lot of people have trouble just making contact.
Yeah.
You hit behind it. It's called a duff. And then it goes like 5 yards or whatever. You thin it and it goes way over the green. It's a very difficult game. I've been playing it my whole life. I know Jamie's, like, obsessed with it now.
Yeah,
So,
Jamie's out there with that simulator every fucking day. Whack!
yeah,
That's all you hear. is
I would be
whack.
with him if I was here. We would...
Yeah.
If I lived here, we'd be playing golf at least twice a week.
Yeah.
I try to
it's-
do that in the summer in New York, at least.
It's such an addictive game that I can't fuck with it. I don't want to be one of you guys.
Well, I think I agree with you that that's a legitimate fear. I just feel like if you did get addicted, you'd be like, this is awesome.
I'm sure I think
Yeah.
it's up, but I love pool. I play pool so much I can't be fucking around with another game. It's too much.
It would be it would be 4 or 5 hours. If you're
Yeah.
into golf and you go play 18 holes of golf, it's going to be minimum 4 hours.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. It's like I could play pool. I could have a few games in an hour and be done. And
Yeah.
you can play pool when it rains out. Like there's a lot of stuff you can do.
Yeah.
But so
Yeah.
the Kim Jong Un thing, yeah, that movie, I never saw that. Did you ever see the interview?
I never saw it. First of all, I don't even know if they actually ended up releasing it. Do we know if they ended up releasing it, Jamie? I know they postponed it a little bit.
I believe it.
Well, no,
was
it's definitely on
released.
streaming services and everything.
Okay.
I'm looking through it. Remember, there had that big Sony hack that happened as it was supposed to be
Oh,
released,
that's
and
right.
then that was like being, it wasn't like the debate or the full thing that they were after, but they wanted the movie to be withheld.
Yeah, and I couldn't believe over Russia you said for the Burt movie. That's amazing. So it's like basically anything that causes political problems, they say, hey, don't release this. But like everything is controversial. You know what I mean? So how can you do that?
It was just, I mean, it was the timing of it, right? You know, Russia invades Ukraine, and then that's right when he finished it. So
yeah, that's poor timing.
Yeah, they couldn't say, "Look, Russia's fun. These guys are drunk. We're robbing a train." Like, yeah,
that wouldn't work out too well.
Yeah,
though.
but it's a funny fucking movie, and so the answer to the question is like, yeah, some of my friends are still doing movies. Tom's doing some movies, but really the bulk of what everybody does now is podcasts and stand-up.
Right.
And you don't have to do that stuff anymore. So that was one of the allures to get people to come here. It's like, hey, the #1 podcast in the world is here. And Your Mom's House is a huge podcast. Tim Dillon's here, which is another huge podcast.
Yeah.
Tony Hinchcliffe has Kill Tony here. That's a huge podcast. So it's like there's a lot of reasons to come here. It's like there's a new scene here.
Yeah.
And it emerged during the pandemic.
Well, I saw Tim Dillon. This was just before the pandemic, just before I feel like he blew up. Probably was just when you moved here. We were here and we saw him perform. And I remember looking at Corin and saying, this guy's going to be big.
He's going to be huge.
Because
he's already getting way bigger. He's selling out theaters now, but he's going to be one of the biggest comics. Well, he's pretty close to one of the biggest comics in the world right now. It's one of those things where his potential is massive.
Well, that's, like what's the black comedian's name from last night? What's his name?
Brian Simpson?
He was phenomenal.
Yeah,
and I feel
amazing.
like he needs to get his due, and
he's going to get his due.
He is, because he was really funny. And I'd only seen him maybe once before or something, but I feel like he's undervalued.
He's still getting better. He's coming into his own. Like in just the time that I've known him, he's got quite a bit better. He's one of those guys that's just like all the pieces are falling into place right now for him. He did a Netflix special, and now people know him from that. And now he has a bunch of new material that he's working on. Like last night, he's working on a bunch of new stuff, and he's just better all the time. He's like at that 10-year mark where guys really start to put it together and take off.
He was homeless, he was telling me. And it wasn't too long ago that he was homeless.
Yeah, not that long ago. A couple guys we work with were homeless. Like Hans Kim, who wasn't there last night because he's in Hawaii right now. But Hans Kim was homeless just a year ago. And
Jesus
then
Christ.
a few months later, he's doing arenas with me.